For almost all my life, I listened to hip-hop. When I was younger, I'd just listen to whatever my parents played, typically groups like Beastie Boys and Run DMC. As I grew older and began to listen to music on my own, I soon discovered a wide variety of rap, music I'd go on to spend hundreds of hours listening to. Yet surprisingly, until 2 years ago, the thought of me making a single song, let alone 2 albums, was something I'd never thought about. What helps with memory? Glutamate, as long as neurotransmitters don't reuptake. During psychology class of senior year, the teacher assigned us groups to make a creative project about neurons. Initially, my group wasn't sure of what to make, but one member, a popular music producer, suggested a song. With nobody else wanting to work on the vocals, I volunteered, and later that week recorded in his home studio. Initially, I felt a little awkward, but pretty soon got the hang of it. I'd listened to rap for years, but actually rapping was a whole new experience. I felt stronger, and once finished, proud of what I had created. Still, everyone went their separate ways after submitting the project, and making more music was not something I was interested in. That is, until quarantine. Everybody tried something new during those first few months, and after enough sitting in my room listening to rap, I thought I might as well make some more.
Parietal sense that I need them, thinking because my cerebrum.
So I reconnected with my music producer friend, and we remixed our Neurons song, adding sections about the endocrine system and brain functions. After sending it to our psychology teacher, he was so impressed that it's now part of his curriculum, played every year in his class. Unlike its original though, the Neurons remix wasn't enough to quench my hunger for making music, and soon after, I decided to make an entire album.
Cause wet like they perspire, so I put them in the dryer. Sipping on probiotic, pouring on fresh balsamic.
Throughout the recording process, I would find an instrumental off YouTube, write some lyrics, and then record. Once complete, I then decided if the song could use a feature, and if so, I'd ask a friend to record a verse. During a time of declining mental health, this often became a burdensome workload, but I knew it was worth it. In total, I recorded about 20 songs, with 12 friends as features. I then cut this down to 11 songs, and on April 3rd, released my debut album. Titled Amateur Hour, as a joking reference to my newness, this album was an auditory variety show, with each song containing a different style and different topic. Such topics included my elementary school, community television, and the now defunct restaurant Cheese Boy, to name a few. However, one trend I noticed was that the most generic and topicless songs performed the best. They weren't as niche as my other songs, so people who didn't know me personally could actually enjoy them. Sure, my song about Cheese Boy was cool to people who'd actually been there before, but topics like that were not recognized by most of my listeners. Bragging, punchlines, and unspecific rap tend to perform well in the mainstream, so it made sense it would for me as well. Still, the overall response to my album was positive. My family, high school, and college friends seemed to enjoy them, although they complained some of the features were lackluster. While I cut a lot of solo songs from my album, I included every feature my friends performed, giving the album a wide range of good ones.
Central Street is where I'm from. Get on fire beats, then rip it a new one. Scare your mama and child like a muppet. The smoke, no, they don't want to up it.
To the less good.
Yeah, we head into the bowl now. Adam and Ron, you got a freak, so we'll go now.
My biggest regret for the album, though, was the outro track, Can't Depend. About a friend I had lost contact with, I wanted to make a serious song to reflect my negative state of mind, but wasn't confident enough in the premise during recording. So, I put on an accent to make it sillier, taking away from the song's meaning.
Get that we was not the best of friends, but it still hurt me that it had to end.
I don't even know why I left it on the album, but I know that if I were to make another serious song, I wouldn't undercut it with humor.
But he didn't stop at all, he just went full-fledged. Got the police kinda angry, seemed like they were on edge. And this stuff really happened, it is more than alleged.
Not long after releasing Amateur Hour, I began recording for a second album. From the start, I knew I wanted to call it Sophomore Slump, for a multitude of reasons. First, that expression is commonly used to describe failed follow-up projects, so it would be of the same self-deprecating humor as the title for Amateur Hour. Second, I was entering my sophomore year of college, and while not academically slumping, I was mentally struggling, feeling out of place in clubs and spending way too much time alone. Just like before, I recorded a variety of songs and asked friends for features. This time though, I was a lot more particular, often asking friends to redo their verses if I didn't think they were up to par. Surprisingly, none of my friends were annoyed by this, and the songs we created became some of my all-time favorites. On November 27th, Sophomore Slump was released, containing 9 features, 11 songs, and a runtime somewhat over 30 minutes. Themes of the album were different from Amateur Hour, primarily because I shied away from topic-based songs. While I still had a few, most songs were generic, with much of the lyrics containing punchlines,
Never bend, never full, opposite of origami.
and brags.
Was flooded my garment, is pouring like barman, like I was a sprinkler inside a free garden.
To end the album though, I decided to include a double song, straying away from the generic vibes and focusing more on my personal emotions. The first part, titled Enormous Sums, is about how my declining mental health causes pettiness, leading me to cut off friends for stupid reasons.
I thought you were better, and if I tried to check you, I would look just like a heckler.
The second part, titled 01003, is an ode to the negative experiences I've encountered on campus.
01003 is a zip where I'm stuck, a place I should be liking, but I'm feeling out of luck.
With most of the album upbeat, I knew a project titled Sophomore Slump needed something actually about slumping, leading to a double song outro.
I don't hit no cart night, but I'm coming down the same. I'm living in the future where I've already won the game.
As previously stated, the album came out November 27th. However, that's after I'm recording this video, but before the video releases. Thus, I don't know the reception the album will receive, or which songs are going to perform the best. Still, regardless of how successful Sophomore Slump is, I'm happy with how my musical journey turned out. If a 12-year-old me heard one of my songs on autoplay after watching a Lil Jon music video, he'd be stunned, amazed that he had the chance and courage to record his own music. Yet while me recording is one thing, the fact that I've been able to continually improve is another. I now use actual audio editing programs instead of just iMovie, and lyric-wise, I'm able to tackle serious topics without joking around. My musical journey has already led me to a great place, and I'm excited to see where it will take me.